they said no, be not. The mind to a praying woman. The truth's a heavy burden and it's weighing on me. Red doggies caught me slipping with the wailing on me. I went to calling out for Jesus like a reverend on me. Chalked it up to sin, took it on my chin. Gotta take some L's if you wanna win. They took a but didn't take a sin. I didn't even have no re-up I could re-up with. Had to rob another just to re-up. Pray to God that in his heart he found forgiveness for me. It was nothing personal, it was just business for me. When I got on, I paid him back and told him it was ugly.
We're at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Chicago Bears. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, Wilcox. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
A run on 1st down with Jacobs as he'll get this forward for about 4. 2nd and 6 coming up. This defense for the Bears, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
To throw on 2nd down, Wilcox, and this one's incomplete. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced.
With nowhere to go here, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field, and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The Franks looking to throw. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Setting up play action. Franks. Touchdown Bears. Elijah Moore. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point splits the uprights.
And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now Franks. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, Franks. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Franks now. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. There are 2 words that we hear coach. Just say all of the time. One starts with a... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Jones. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. These 2 teams all tied after 1. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A give to Jones. And he'll get this down only to the 18. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Franks. Touchdown. It's complete. Rondale Moore. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. 14, Steelers 7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return is Ferguson. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle.
Well, pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep, Deontay Harris. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. The give is to Jones. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Jones. And this will be a Bears 1st down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Off the play fake. Here's Franks. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start
trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
He's going to look deep for more. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
But when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time on the catch and run. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Wilcox.
He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
And his kick is good. Well, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's second down now.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
It's Franks now from the shotgun.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here.
Throwing on first down. Wilcox. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Nick Needham picks it off.
And the Bears are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Franks. Looking left side. That's caught by Moore. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Franks. Over the middle, complete. It's Moore. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. The field goal unit on the sideline. They're going to go with 1 second left. And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Franks now on second down.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Looking to throw. Franks. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's fourth down. As he'll punt it away for the second. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Running is Jacobs. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Operating from the gun. Wilcox, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. On the return is Ferguson. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Back to throw. Wilcox. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And down to the 11. So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
Looking to throw. Wilcox, flush to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And his kick here is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Fielded right around the 8. Well, now how about this return? And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here's Jones again on second down. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Franks, third down from the gun. He finds his man, complete. It's Moore. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise, as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
They'll try to run it in, going option right. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the third quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Oh, he bowls over it. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
Well, partners, my old man used to say, make sure you strap up tight if you're going to try and stop one of those big horses out there. As you just saw there, this guy does not go down easily.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Able to shake him off. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say,
and he's going to be intercepted a third time. He's picked off at his own 47. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
They go play action with Franks. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Well, the terrible towels here at Heinz Field out in full force. Here's 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Franks. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. Now a carry for Jacobs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back now in Pittsburgh. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Back to throw. Wilcox. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Laviska Shenault, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20, and they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 49 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Off play action. Franks toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
He's going to look deep for more. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 13.
And the Steelers are right back in this football game.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilcox, his throw incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
To throw on 3rd down, Wilcox. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tre'Davious White with a pick. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
A run by Conner on 1st down and a good one as he'll get about 7 here. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On 1st down, Jones looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Jones. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. On the jet sweep, here comes Moore. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the 1st down marker. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Looking to throw. Franks. And this is caught. He hits Moore. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Steelers 21.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Wilcox. Wide open receiver complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing back.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Bears are going to have it here at their own 15. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this.